Lakers lead. Warriors have to throw it down the length. Hope for a miracle. Curry launches at the buzzer. Won't go, and the Lakers hold on and win in double overtime. What a performance from LeBron James and the Lakers to get the road win.
How does it keep getting worse every game, man? Another Warriors game, another absolute heartbreaker where we lose on LeBron clutch free throws, which I really thought he was gonna miss at least one. But unfortunately he made both, and we didn't have enough resistance there. I thought we could have had Trace Jackson Davis there, but they probably would have hunted him with Anthony Davis out of bounds, so I understood why we had the personnel we did there, and at the end of the day, they did a good enough job. Unfortunately, Kuminga, I thought, did not help early enough, or, well, simply well enough here with LeBron, and it meant he got to the basket too easily, and of course he had a chance to win it. And when we look at it here, Kuminga should have been in front of him from the start, instead of worrying about Taurean Prince. Even though Taurean Prince is obviously a little better personnel than if it was, for example, Jared Vanderbilt. But yeah, he should have just tried to get in front of him even more, and he unfortunately did not. And Draymond had to foul him. It's rough. Wiggins fouled out, of course. Clay fouled out, so we went with this personnel. Corey Joseph is a good defender, so it makes sense. And unfortunately, we just did not have a rim protector there. If Trace was there, they could have hunted him since he barely played, and Anthony Davis was pretty much, on one, if I do say so. But it is what it is, unfortunately. The Warriors have better vibes and are playing better and have nothing to show for it, unfortunately. And they are even more tired, of course, because, well, they all play over 40 minutes. Draymond was sensational today. 8 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He's still one of the best defenders in the world, and I really think we're gonna turn it around, man. I really do think we're gonna turn it around. Some luck has to go our way eventually, and I think it's gonna happen, man. I believe it's gonna happen. Great on Steve for starting Kuminga and Draymond today instead of Saric and Looney. I kinda expected Draymond to start, not both of them, but it really feels like the lineup of Wiggins, Kuminga, and Green together is great. It's just great. It gives more playmaking to Draymond, it gives more room to operate for Steph, and if Wiggins is knocking down his 3 balls, it's really just beautiful. Kuminga, 22, 9, and 2. He wasn't as great as he has been lately, but he still did a good enough job. Unfortunately, he could have for sure done a better job late on LeBron on that drive, but he did a really good job. I just thought we could have maybe gotten the ball to him a little more, since Steph and Clay took, 59 shots together. I thought that could have been spread out a little more, especially to Kuminga, but Steph just wanted to go for it, and I mean, he put us up 1 and we had a huge chance to win it, right? So all those Steph shots in the fourth and in the overtimes make sense. Let me see how many shots did Steph take actually. He had 10 shots in the fourth quarter, Kuminga had 3, and he had 10 shots in the overtime. Kuminga had just 1. So I thought this could have been a little more distributed. I thought Steph was still forcing a little too much in those situations, but at the end of the day, it's Steph Curry, and you understand it. Just wish he could have maybe been a little more, not taking actually everything. For example, that shot over Austin Reeves in, I'm pretty sure it was the first overtime, where he essentially had Austin Reeves on him, and so he felt like he had to force it over him, and it was a really tough step back 2-pointer over him that I felt was just unnecessary. Nonetheless, it happens. And Clay today had a really bad first half, bounced back in the second half. Unfortunately, he fouled out and it wasn't enough, but he had some clutch shots. Steph had some really great clutch moments. Draymond couldn't hit the 3-ball today, which is a rough one, but he was sensational all around. Plus 31 man in 45 minutes is just special. He was absolutely absurd on the court today. And Wiggins, like I keep saying, lately he has been looking better and he looks more spry, more energetic, which bodes well for the rest of the season. And I really think we're gonna get the break here. We play Philly next, which is a rough one. But I feel like we just need one snap of a moment, one lucky moment in one of these games, and we're gonna bounce back and figure this thing out. Of course, you can talk about the referees. We had just 16 free throws to theirs for this 3. Steph drove more than enough to get at least some more free throws than 3, but unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. And the Lakers obviously have better drivers. They get to the basket a little better. There was this unfortunate call on Anthony Davis where Steph was boxing him out. I wouldn't call that a foul, but I understand why they did. It felt really frustrating at there. And that D'Angelo Russell 3-pointer in the overtime where he was doing some of the dumbest shit you can do on court. He was really making some horrible decisions. And then he just pulls up in transition and gives the Lakers a 1-point lead. Like, that one had me probably the most heated right here. Because that was just such a dagger that it really hurt my heart. Then Steph missed a tough step back jumper, which... What was this shot actually? Over AD. I mean, that's a solid shot, right? I don't hate it. He had it going, so you live and die with it, right? And he hit the wide open 3-pointer. So there's that. Potts was really good all around. It still might be a little too much on him. We might be really using him a little too much, but we have, of course, Moody is out. Chris Paul is out, Gary Payton is out, so these guys are missing, and you can really rely on, Trace maybe could have gotten a little more minutes. And Kevin Looney really can't play against most teams right now, so it's hard to get some of these lineups and matchups in. Dario did not have it going, so it made no sense going with him. And Corey Joseph, well, maybe you could have gone with Corey Joe a little bit, but I don't know. It's just tough. A tough one here. And the Lakers were really good, right? D'Angelo Russell, 28 points and made some ballsy plays. LeBron was sensational. 36, 20, and 12, man. He was absolutely absurd and hit those clutch free throws. He had his moment. AD came back into the game after injuring himself. Wasn't as great afterwards, but he still was a menace out there, especially defensively, right? The bench gave them a huge spurt. I thought Vanderbilt was sensational. 14-9, 5, and 4. Rui Hachimura was really good. But it sucks. It really does suck because in the fourth quarter it felt like we were finally getting the separation we needed, and then Steph had a really bad stretch here of some bad turnovers, which really did not help us at all. And that pretty much started the comeback for the Lakers, where it was really Vanderbilt and AD going off, and D'Angelo Russell, of course, being annoying as hell, and I just despise him. I'm sorry. I'm on my hatership today a little bit. But that was a tough stretch of circumstances here. Great layup by Steph to get this thing even tied, right? So, what else is there to say, really, right? Another tough one. The defense with Draymond is looking much better. We're going to be seeing more of those lineups. Steve Kerr said, which I'm happy about. He even talked once again a little bit about the refereeing. That has been bad. So you love to see that. And it felt like vintage Warriors, man. This stretch in the third quarter, it felt like vintage third quarter Warriors. Everyone doing a little bit of everything. But after that timeout the Lakers had, it really bounced the other way. There were some bad turnovers, some bad shots, some fouling. We disrupted our rhythm again. Couldn't hit some layups, and the Lakers got back into it instantly, just like we quote-unquote ran away with it here instantly, where we got a 15-point lead, essentially. And Andrew Wiggins did not score afterwards, and I'm pretty sure he took like 2 or 3 shots afterwards. So, some real positives out there on the court. Unfortunately, nothing to show for it. Steph said it himself. It's just a real frustrating period for them, and I hope they can find a way to climb out of it. I'll be here covering it as always. Like I said, we play the Joel Embiid 76ers. on, what is it? What is it? Is it Monday? Monday. They play in Portland, so it's on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday we play the Sixers, which will be an intriguing one. Then I'm pretty sure, are going on the road. We have to get the revenge against the Grizzlies. Then we play against Hawks again, Nets, and Sixers again. So I think this is a stretch where we seriously just finally, before the All-Star game, need to pick up these wins, man. These are the games that will really determine our season in a way, because there are some real winnable games actually here. And we'll have to wait and see. Nonetheless, thank you all for watching. As always, be kind to yourself and to others. And shit stuff, man, we gonna be here. And shit, it's the fan is you still fan. Oh yeah. Love yourselves, man.